Welcome back to flooded North London, where the authorities are finding it increasingly difficult, though not impossible, to ignore the climate crisis. The main news this week is that, incredibly, Radio 4 is thinking of cancelling the film programme, presented by Antonia Quirk, and replacing it with some questionably conceived screen programme, in which film is mulched together with streaming TV and gaming. Now, I've said it before and I'll say it again. It would be great for TV and gaming to get their own shows, but not in this mashed together way which dumbs down film and TV and gaming. I've tweeted myself about this, and now filmmaker Carol Morley has sent an open letter to The Observer, co-signed by people including Martin Scorsese, Christopher Nolan and Ian McEwan, demanding the show's survival. You can follow their campaign on Twitter. On now to my first film, The Suicide Squad, directed by James Gunn.
You gotta be kidding me. You're gonna risk the entire mission for a mental defective dressed as a court jester.
It's coming from a guy that wears a toilet seat on his head.
We don't leave one of our own behind.
Hopefully Harley's still alive.
No funny business, Colonel. These are dangerous people.
Team 2 is clear to go.
Fire on. 3, 2.
What are you guys doing?
What?
We're here to save you.
You were gonna save me?
It was a really good plan, too.
Well, I can go back inside and you can still do it.
That's patronizing.
I'm so sorry. Harley Quinn.
Bloodsport.
DC's new Suicide Squad movie announces itself as different from the first critically panned film from 2016 simply by adding the word "the" to the title, The Suicide Squad. Maybe they are sneakily trying for a new start, an unacknowledged rebrand or reboot. James Gunn, the once disgraced director formerly in charge of Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, has been brought on board, and the comic energy and group dynamic is definitely better. This is a long, in fact, overlong movie that blitzes your eyeballs and your eardrums with comedy, irony, superhero spectacle and violence. A touch too much of each, I'm tempted to say, although it's a good piece of entertainment, bringing back crazily grinning Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn, with Idris Elba as Bloodsport, the term is field sport surely, and the ubiquitous bull-necked John Cena as the perennially violent and ironically named Peacemaker. These and many more have been assembled, to use that copyright Marvel word, to neutralise a bioweapons plant on a hostile South American island, not Cuba. It's all very hyperactive and excessive, although inevitably the vital element of comedy is abandoned well before the end. Here's a movie I loved when it was at the Toronto Film Festival last year. It's Limbo, about Syrian asylum seekers detained on the Scottish Islands, and it's from first-time feature director Ben Sharrock.
عمر؟ وين صرت؟
واحدة من الجزر في اسكتلندا.
شاهد عمر صار بالتسجيل في اسكتلندا. البابا عم يسأل إذا كان الوضع عندك مثل غوانتانا.
Is he a tourist, Margaret?
You one of their refugees?
You speak English, pal?
Are you Muslim? We haven't got along.
No!
What instrument is that anyway?
Are you ever going to play that? Just like Karate Road.
لك أنت حتى ما عم تعزف على العود.
If you are calling about an asylum claim, please hang up.
This is a wonderfully composed piece of filmmaking, deadpan and yet heartfelt at the same time. It reminded me of Aki Kaurismäki, Ilyas Suleiman or Bill Forsyth, with a touch of Bruce Robinson's Withnail and I. It's about Syrian refugees who have been relocated to the Hebrides while their cases are heard. Single men with no families, housed in grim hostels on a bare minimum subsistence allowance, forbidden to do paid work. They must just wait for official word on whether they can stay. And as it says in Casablanca, they must wait and wait and wait. And the situation is based on real life. There is a wonderful performance from Amir El Masri as Omar, who is stricken with rage, guilt and doubt that he's amputated his Syrian identity for the right to spend an eternity on this prison island. It is such a sweet, sad, superbly made film. Go and see it. Now, from the sublime to the not ridiculous exactly, but very, very corporate, it's Disney's new live-action adventure Jungle Cruise, starring Dwayne Johnson and Emily Blunt.
I've been looking for this tree longer than anybody. I've tracked the legend to every village, every island. Nothing. You're searching for something that can't be found.
But you've never had the key.
Now, this is based on a Disney theme park ride that people have been queuing up for since the 1950s. A riverboat adventure in the jungle down an artificial waterway with animatronic animals popping out of the plastic foliage. The movie version is a mixture of the African Queen with Raiders of the Lost Ark, The Mummy, and lots of other better films. Emily Blunt is Lily, the imperious British scientist in 1916 who high-handedly charters a riverboat in Brazil to search for the fabled Tree of Life, and this boat is captained by the heart of gold cynic Frank, played by Dwayne Johnson. They meet cute, they squabble, and then, well, you know what. But there's something that has to be noted here. Jungle Cruise has a gay character, McGregor, played by Jack Whitehall, who is Emily Blunt's foppish younger brother. He confides to Frank that he is not as other men. Frank has an admirably supportive modern attitude, and the subject is never mentioned again. Edwardian reticence dovetailing with Disney family values. McGregor is a gay stereotype that Uncle Walt himself might have recognised, while of course appreciating the obvious heterosexuality of Frank, with his muscles, cap and boots. That's going to be it for this week. Please keep the faith by buying my book, The Films That Made Me, an edited selection of my essays and reviews for The Guardian. And please feel free to give a share and a like to this YouTube channel, and subscribe, and leave a comment to say that you've subscribed. Stay classy.